Welcome everybody to Extreme Power No Handling, and today we're dealing with the 1974 Honda Civic RS. Now this has 1017 horsepower, 852 pounds-feet of torque from a 7 litre twin turbocharged V8 engine. The car itself now weighs 1,864 pounds. It's got a slightly better gearbox. It's now a 5-speed instead of a 4-speed, and yeah, that's a huge amount of power to put in such a lightweight, small, front-wheel drive hatchback. So yeah, not expecting this to be particularly quick, quite frankly, but it should be interesting at least to see what it can and can't do. And yeah, what it's going to be able to do is probably spin up its wheels a lot, quite frankly. But yeah, these are the stats. So yeah, high speed as you'd expect with all that power, but handling, acceleration, launch and braking are all on the low side. So yeah, this is going to be a lot of revving and hitting the rev limiter, quite frankly, because yeah, that's a lot of power to put in a front wheel drive car, especially one that I didn't even have 100 horsepower originally. So we're talking well over 10 times the power that it had in stock form, and then you add on to that the fact that it's raining. So yeah, this is going to be a struggle, so we're going to have to be really sensitive with the throttle to make sure that we're not constantly hitting the rev limiter. Because yeah, not only was this not meant for this kind of power or speed or acceleration, but yeah, those tyres are really quite skinny. The suspension is not the softest that you'd find from a 70s car. It's probably a little bit stiffer than, say, the AMC Gremlin in the previous episode, but it's still a 70s car at the end of the day, so it's still going to have somewhat soft suspension. And then the brakes, they're typically 70s, and the fact that they are meant only for the car that they're in, with no extra modifications or anything like that. Even then, you know, 17 mile an hour in stock form was hardly a treat to stop in an emergency. So yeah, got the brakes. Oh dear. And then obviously it got loads of understeer with all that torque and power, and a much larger engine up front, twice the cylinders and 3 times the cubic capacity. So it's just, yeah, it's really struggling to hang in there, quite frankly. But once you do get into a straight line, it is pretty quick. 20 there. At least it is quite lightweight, so you know, even though the brakes are shocking, they're not as shocking as they could be if we were in a much heavier car. So yeah, it's now able to do 0 to 60 given the right conditions on a straight line in 6.647 seconds, 0 to 100 in 16.609 seconds, and it will go to a top speed of 194 miles an hour given a long enough straight. So yeah, which is ridiculous. Pretty sure this could only do about 100 originally, so yeah, that's quite the upstep in top speed. Understeer, there we go. Finally grabs some traction there. No brakes. So yeah, our first lap time was 1 minute 33.410, which I think is about the same kind of time as the Gremlin, so we're not going to be the slowest by any means on the series, not like the Gremlin is, but yeah, still not going to be the slowest, even though we are wildly out of control at times. Oh dear, not making that. Oh dear. Yeah, this is definitely one of the more accident-prone vehicles, but we still just about managed to get under 1 minute 30. The time of 1 minute 29.973. Really does struggle just to... You have to properly let off the accelerator just to get the car going around the corner. Oh dear. Because it weighs so little, any debris or road furniture is really going to slow us down. a little bit earlier there. Yeah, it's pretty insane that you can put this engine in this car. All I was expecting when I got into the car and started upgrading it was to be one of the inline 4 engines. But there are several of those to choose from, but yeah, none of them are anywhere near as powerful as this. Most powerful, I think, is the 668 horsepower rally turbo engine, so yeah, you're talking nearly 400 horsepower extra on top of that, which is mad. But we're still improved on our third lap there, just about, with a time of, here we go, 1 minute 29.122 seconds, so improved by nearly a second on that second lap there. And yeah, we were actually quicker than the Gremlin even on our first lap, as that managed to time 1 minute 33.577. So yeah, overall impressive given the you know, huge amount of power it's got going through those front wheels, but by no means an easy car to drive. Bouncing off all over the walls, bouncing off the rev limiter, and yeah, those brakes really didn't help either. So yeah, not a good car with this engine at all, but you know, that's kind of to be expected. But yeah, still fun enough as an experiment, and yeah, far from the slowest car that we've had on this series. And yeah, compared to the Gremlin from the same era, which, you know, had roughly, I think, the same, yeah, it had the same power as this, but it was heavier. But at the end of the day, it was rear-wheel drive as well, so that should have made it dynamically a little bit better. But yeah, the front-wheel drive layout on this actually helped. So yeah, there we go though. But yeah, nonetheless, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.